Hello, everyone, and welcome to Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. As you are joining in, please do say hello. We've got a nice show, as usual, planned for you tonight, and we're going to be talking about we'll be doing some mini soul readings or maybe aura readings, whatever happens. And we'll be talking about shifting your energy. And as you are joining in, definitely say hello and we will get on with the show, as they say. So we are going to be talking about, how we're struggling these days and giving some people some personal guidance tonight. That will be fun. I do have some ideas too that we can continue talking about clearing and raising our energy. But we'll see where we end up. You never know. So thanks for joining me. Hi, Rihanna and Christy and Debbie. Nice to see you guys. As you're all joining in, just definitely say hello. I'll tell you who I am in case you do not know. I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, a registered medium here at Lilydale Assembly. I'm also a certified intuitive life and spiritual coach. I am the author of this book, Courageously You, Magical Mind Games to Get Unstuck and Reignite Your Joy. I am also the co-founder of the online Soul Empowerment Community. So I do all sorts of things, as you can tell, and one of my most favorite things I love to do is my radio show every week here for Lilydale Assembly, because I get to talk about all sorts of different ideas to help you live your best life. And again, as you're joining in, definitely say hello. And my thing is scrolling so fast I can't see everybody, so let me go backtrack a little bit. So hi, Debbie, Jessica, Cindy, nice to see you again, and Pamela. Hi, Steve and Jenny and Sherry, Alyssa, Darlene, Johnny and Ellen. Hello, you guys. How are you doing? And Susan, thank you so much for joining me. We have been talking about all sorts of things on here, mostly the consciousness shift. But before I get to that, let's do some details. Lilydale Assembly Incorporated is the official Facebook page, and you can find out about all of the Zoom classes that are being held off-season here in Lilydale. So go there, Lilydale Assembly Incorporated, the official page, go to events, and you can see everything that's happening. And my website, ColleenVanderzijden.com or BeCourageouslyYou.com, and you can find out what I do as well. Now, a little warning, if you will. You must be on my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Coach, right here on Facebook. You have to be on my page to make a comment that I can see or ask for a reading. So you have to be on my page. If you're on Lilydale's page or in the Spiritual Growth and Support Groups page, I cannot see your comments, so I won't be able to respond live. So if you do want to have a little reading tonight, or if you have questions or comments and you're looking for some kind of soul guidance, then you need to be on my page. And I'll say this again in a little bit because I know some people don't join right from the very beginning. So I will say it again. Be patient with me all. Thank you. Adrian, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. And Fran, nice to see you again. Hi, Chuck. And Sam. And Connie, Tracy, Lisa, Cheryl. The sound is off. Okay, I hope it's not me. Cross my fingers on that. So you guys who are in the Soul Empowerment Community, we have a new private Facebook group, and for the Soul Empowerment Community, I sent you an email the other day. Do look in your spam and junk. I sent it on Friday so that you can join that community. I definitely want to say that. So as you're making comments, make some good comments that get my attention, okay? Something that's going to get my attention so that I want to talk to you and give you some kind of guidance or reading, okay? We've got Samia here. We've got Connie, I think already, Lisa, Carol, Pamela. Okay, Debbie says I sound okay. Good. So give me some good comments. Okay, while we're doing that, I've got a couple more things to say. I'm just checking what this says. Oh dear. Okay. Hold on. I'm writing down. Oh, Nancy, yay, your daughter's in labor. Yay. My grandson is 4 months old. It is so exciting. So I asked this last week and I'm going to ask it again this week. How are you really feeling? What is going on with you guys? How are you feeling? What are your biggest problems? Where are you struggling right now? We've been talking about the energy of the world. We've been talking about the consciousness shift and how the light is coming up. The light and love is being revealed as well as the darkness. But we've been talking about this energy shift. And as we're navigating this, we are finding that we at times are struggling and the energies are so chaotic and they are affecting helping us as well. So as we are going, let me know how you're feeling. I'm going to scroll back in a second. Just wanted to remind you that I'm doing a giveaway for my birthday, a free soul reading, full-length soul reading. 30 minutes, it says. Knowing me, it'll be 45. So anyway, if you have not yet entered, you want to go to the top of my page here, Colleen Vander Zyden, Medium Intuitive Life Coach, and look right at the very top. It's a featured post. You'll be able to see it right there. It'll say something like a graphic that says something like free giveaway or free soul reading or something like that. You need to make sure you're following my page. You need to comment that you want a free soul reading, and you need to like the post. Tomorrow is, I think I can't tell. I think we're giving it away. We're going to announce it on Thursday, who wins. So I think tomorrow is the last day. So if you want to do that, you want to get to it right away. I also wanted to tell you that my Courageously You small group coaching program, we meet starting January 6th at noon. I have 2 seats left. If you are looking for personal guidance to live your best life, check it out on my website, becourageously.you.com. Okay, let's get to it now. We're going to go right and do some readings right away, and we'll see what kind of readings come out of my mouth. Okay, I'm looking to see who's catching my interest. Okay. I can hear you, but it sounds like you're underwater. That's so weird. Debbie says she could use some clarity, and I bet you a lot of you guys could too. I did write down the comments last week that people wrote about their struggles, their challenges, what's going on, and it seems like right now at this time there are a lot of people who are struggling and looking for clarity. We as humans, we want to know the answer. We want to know what's next. We want to know what we are supposed to do next, don't we? We want somebody to tell us what's next so that we can move in that direction, right? It's a little bit of reassurance that we're looking for. And I have gotten lots of messages from Spirit in the past couple of weeks on this idea of clarity. And so, Debbie, I'm talking to you specifically, but everybody else listen, because I have learned that Spirit will communicate with as many people as possible. And so I'll say things to her that may very well relate to you. So pay attention as we go. So Debbie, I am going to touch in with your soul for a soul reading to see what the clarity is going on. And it is interesting, I have to tell you, I'm getting quite the vision right away. And this vision is a whirlpool. Okay, interestingly, I don't normally work with those kinds of things, but here we are. So what I'm seeing is a whirlpool, and I am loving this vision for you, Debbie, and others as well, because what this is telling me is that you have been more intentional about releasing things that no longer are right for you. And this is what's happening, everybody, in the consciousness shift. We are releasing the old ways of doing things. We're releasing things that are no longer valid or no longer true. We're releasing things we may have thought are true, but are not true after all. So Debbie, you're doing a lot of releasing work, and you may or may not be intentional, but I know you have done some that is intentional. And with this, what's happening is anything that is blocking you from living as your soul is being, let me say, going into the earth and being transmuted. And I have to tell you as well, Debbie, I'm seeing the beautiful color blue, and you guys know how much I love doing colors when I'm doing some readings too. Blue, to me, it stands for the throat chakra, okay? And that's pretty standard for most people. And it also is for communication. And blue also is calming. Okay, these are my definitions as of this moment. Some are the same no matter what day it is, but that's what we've got going right now. So I know, Debbie, that for you, I expect you're probably struggling with communicating things fully. Maybe to others, maybe to yourself as well. So make an intention to be as open and curious to allow the emotions, the interests, the words to come to you, to bubble up and to be expressed. Now, when we're going to communicate something, we want to make sure we do it to the right people, or even if it's just to ourselves, okay? We don't want to go around blabbing everything to everybody, right? So we want to be clear with what we want to say, and lots of times it starts with being clear to ourselves. What is it we really want? Who are we really? Who do we want to be? So you have this beautiful blue color around you that is telling me that communication is something that you're either working on or you have greatly improved upon it. The color blue will also help you if you want to have some near you or something like this. A blue shirt or something will help you you calm and also will help you express yourself. So it's very important, Debbie, that you recognize that you are actually on the right path and that the communication is allowing the information to come to you, not trying to figure it out. My newsletter today, everybody, was on overthinking, and I had 3 suggestions in there on how to break the pattern of overthinking. If you're not on my list, you can get on my list by going to my website, ColleenVanderZuyden.com, but you can also see the post right on Facebook with the 3 suggestions of how to break that overthinking habit. So, Debbie, trust that the answers are coming to you, because I can see energetically that you're making space for the answers to come to you. Okay, Debbie, there you go. I'll leave that with you. Let's see. Hold on, I'm still scrolling, y'all. If you just joined me, I'm Colleen VanderZuyden, medium at Lilydale, and you need to be on my page on Facebook so I can see your comments. My page is Colleen VanderZuyden, medium and intuitive life coach. If you're on Lilydale's page or the spiritual growth and support page, you'll see my link right there where we are. So just click on it. It'll take you here. That way I'll be able to see what you're wanting. Okay. And I'm going to try to get to as many people as possible. And I'll try not to talk too fast tonight. We'll see. Yes. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, Samia says, been having a hard time overcoming the acknowledgement of how things currently are to focus myself into the vibration of moving forward into the life I want to create. And she says, what's real is just taking up too much of my mental space, so it makes me feel stuck. There's so much in here, everybody. So much here. How many of you guys are struggling with this, right? We've got where we are currently in our physical lifetime and then where we want to be. We're spending a lot of time in our physical lives because we are in a physical life, but sometimes it can feel like we spend too much time there and it's blocking where we're going, right? So there's a lot here to talk about tonight. So the first thing, excuse me, that we need to remember is whatever is happening in your life right now is happening to help you get to your soul, get to the truth of who you are, get to the life you want to have. Okay, everything that's happening is getting you to living in the truth of your soul. Okay, it's a big foundational belief I have, and I believe it's true. And so here with this, okay, sometimes in our physical lives, we have things that are happening that we don't want, right? Happens a lot. It could be that we're simply struggling, feeling better. It just seems like life is too hard. Some of you may have noticed that things you could handle a few years ago are too much now. You may have noticed that something small goes wrong and it's just too much, and you get really frustrated or irritated or upset, right? So we're all a little bit on edge energetically right now, and that is making most of us overly emotional or overly reactive. And I use that word overly intentionally in comparison to how we might used to have been. I don't believe it's wrong feeling overly emotional or overly upset about something. It's not wrong because that's how we're feeling, and we need to express how we're feeling, and then not beat ourselves up for feeling that way. So the first thing, if you've got something going on in your life that you don't want to have, or that is draining you, or that is you're struggling with, accept that it is there. Okay, this doesn't mean I accept it, I want it all the time. It means I recognize it is happening, and the more time I spend resisting it and wishing it were different, the worse I'm going to feel. So if we say, well, this is happening and I'm just going to deal with it. Okay, you're just going to deal with it. I'll use the simple example I always like to use because it's an easy one. We have a flat tire. And we're like, oh, I have a flat tire. This is so much work. And we go off and get all upset about something like this. Where if we just went, it's a flat tire, I'm just going to deal with it. There we go. Right? So this can apply to whatever is happening in your life. This doesn't mean we don't care. This doesn't mean we really don't want it to be different. But the more we focus on wishing it were different or focusing on how we're upset with what's happening, it actually kind of makes that situation stick around longer and stay closer to us. I know it sounds weird. It's like the opposite rule, right? The more you want it to go away, the more it stays. There's actually a name for that, but I can't recall it right now. So the more we want something to change, the more it stays. So accept it's there. You'll have to be very intentional about it. Now, as you accept this, you go, okay, this is what it is. Now, on the other hand, you envision where you want to be. Okay, what is it you want? So Samia's talking about moving toward the life she wants to create, right? So what is it Samia wants? Now, I happen to know that Samia is a very creative person. I happen to know that she has a very big heart, and she is probably wanting to move into some kind of a life where she is helping other people, but is also enjoying what she's doing. Okay, so with this, and this applies to Samia and everybody else as well. So if you're wanting to move into a different kind of life, think about the emotions you want to have with that new life. Okay, a lot of us want more purpose. A lot of us want more meaning. We want more joy. Those are things I'm always saying. Meaning, purpose, joy, love, those things. Those are the ones I'm always talking about. So think about the feelings that go with the life you want to create. Then next, what you're going to do is you visualize that life. You visualize it. What kind of life? What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? What are you doing there? How are you interacting with people, etc.? Okay, you want to do that. Now, being human, we want what we want right now. Basically, right? We want to get rid of the things we don't want, and we want to move into our new life immediately. But it's not going to happen that way. That's not how life usually works. Remember, though, that we are in this consciousness shift. The energy is shifting. And what's happening is that manifestation is also faster than it used to be. So be very clear about how you want to feel in this new life, because we're heading toward that feeling. Okay, allow the universe to help you. The next part with this consciousness shift is we need to move into trusting that the universe is going to bring us to this life when we are ready. This doesn't mean we don't take action. If we know, say for example, you want to start a restaurant, just to pick something. So say you want to start a restaurant. Well, obviously you are going to need to figure out how to run a restaurant. You're going to have to make sure you have all the legal things in place, the business certificates, the sales tax, all of those things. So you've got those practical things you'll need to do. You also, get to have fun planning your menu and all of those things. We don't go, oh, I'm just going to have the universe take care of all those things. No, it's not going to happen that way. You have to do your part. So you still move toward that goal. And say your goal is to have we'll say, Italian restaurant. And so you're getting all set and everything. And then it turns out that you're talking to a lot of people, and there's already a really great Italian restaurant, down the block from where you're going to be. And you think to yourself, well, you know what? Maybe I'll have a different kind of food. So you're open to going in a slightly different direction, or even a big direction, if that's better. So we don't get so focused on the life we want to have to the extent that we have tunnel vision, and we don't allow the universe to guide us as well. So part of the shifting is trusting that the life you want is coming. Okay, and when Samia is saying what's real is just taking up too much of my mental space, so it makes me feel stuck. How many of us are feeling stuck right now, right? So many of us are feeling stuck because we're not in that space we want to be in right now. But here's the thing about feeling stuck. The energy is always moving. The energy is moving underneath. We feel like we're stuck, and that's the emotion we're stuck in. But what if we're not stuck? What if we're just taking a break, a pause, an intermission? I talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think, that we're in an intermission time where the energy is getting us ready for the second half. It's kind of like we go to a concert or a show or something like that. We watch the first act, now we're in the intermission. Everybody goes to the bathroom, everybody's getting ready for the second part. So what if between the life we currently have and the life we're going to have, that feeling of being stuck is just the intermission? Everything is still getting ready. You're still doing your part to move toward it. You may have to release some things from your old life, and you're working on that. And it's not going to be instant, but it's going to happen. And so we know the second act is coming. We know it's coming. So when we finish the intermission, the next part is there. And for us, that next part of our lives is the part we want, right? We're trusting it's coming. So those are some thoughts, Mia, and everyone else who needs to hear it, to help you process where you are, where you're going, and how to relax a little bit so that we can allow the energy to come in and guide us and get us there. And so, Mia, one more thing for you, because I got to give you something else too. I am seeing these beautiful, silvery, sparkly lights around you. And when I see those lights, I always take it to mean spirit guidance, souls like orbs, that kind of thing, angels, all our special beings that help us out. But that energy is very invigorating for me. And it's also very magical. So, Samia, as you're visualizing and moving toward your newer life, then you might throw in some of that thought as well and just kind of feeling this energy around you. Okay, so there's some thoughts for you, Samia. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes, I'm looking to see what else we got. Okay. Hold on, I'm looking. Okay, Connie, this has got my attention, but not for the right reasons. She said, how can I deal with a family member that wants to keep the pit stirred? And then she wrote pot. I saw pot first and immediately thought of marijuana. So sorry on that. But so Connie, what a great comment, right? How can we deal with a family member that wants to keep the pot stirred? How many of you guys have somebody in your family or even friends or colleagues who like to stir things up and cause trouble? Right? They like to push the buttons and not in a good way. Sometimes it's fun, people like to push the buttons, but it's a fun teasy, it's okay. But somebody that likes to keep things going and irritate everybody and all of that. So when we have somebody like that, number one, we're back to acceptance. If that's how they are, accept it, right? That's the way they are. Our initial reaction, what is it? We try to change them. We try to communicate with them and tell them they need to act differently. Right? And that's fine to do if they're being hurtful and all of that. But if they're not listening, and they probably aren't, then we must accept that they are the way they are. So if somebody keeps antagonizing us, then what we can do, and we can say to ourselves, this is just the way they are. My reaction to it is what's keeping me stuck in pain, suffering, etc. We want them to be different. They're not going to be different. So the only thing we can do is make our reaction be different. So what we can do, we have practical strategies, of course. We can walk away. If we have to see them regularly, and probably if they're a family member, you probably do, you can do some kind of a comment that is really non-committal, where you just go, oh, okay, and then just move away. Oh, okay. And this doesn't mean you're going to act on whatever it is they're saying. You don't have to do that. So you just say something, and usually they're so thrown off by you responding in a different way that they don't know what to do. So you want to do something different. Another thing we can do is we can set an energetic barrier around us, an energetic bubble, if you will, and say something along the lines of, this energy around me, I only allow positive energies in this space around me. Anything else, stay away. Something along that line. So we set our intention in the morning that we are going to be energetically strong. So if somebody says something and they're being a jerk, we can just kind of have it roll off us, so to speak. Okay, so practical strategies, walk away. Another one is just to be as non-committal as possible. Or you can go, and that's it. Okay, if they keep pushing you, you don't have to answer. You can walk away. You really can, even if it is a family member. So hopefully that gives you some help. Okay. Let me see what else we got. Oh my. Okay, here we go. A couple things. Okay, good. I'm glad that helps, Mia. Okay, a couple things, you guys. I'm just taking notes because I've got a lot of comments and I'm afraid it's going to scroll and I'm not going to be able to get back to it because, you know, things are weird. Okay, Devin. Devin is saying her mother-in-law's house burnt down. I'm so sorry to hear that. And she's been living with with us, and I am at my wit's end. Kind of similar to what I just said to the previous person. Okay, about protecting your energy, being non-committal. I know it's really hard when you have somebody living in your house and they weren't living there before because you're dealing with somebody else's energy and it's a total disruption to your house. So you definitely want to protect your energy there. Make sure you're getting time for yourself. And Devin, I know that you're so kind and you're so kind and you're so tactful. And I know it's really frustrating for you to have her there because you don't want to say anything to upset her or upset the dynamic of the house any more than it already is. And I really appreciate that from you because I know it's part of your soul. I know it's who you are as a person, such a loving person. So you'll have to really intend to just make sure you have time to protect your own energy as much as possible. And also there's a bit of a feeling with your mother-in-law here, just for a second, where she's the energy I'm feeling is I get such a feeling of her being insecure. I feel like her way of handling things because of some insecurity within her is to try to control things and tell people what to do. And I'm hoping I'm wrong on that, but that's what it feels like. So and part of it too is there's a desire on her part to be helpful, which doesn't necessarily always work. So having some understanding of how her mind is working may help you handle that a little bit more. Definitely make sure you get that time to yourself. That's really going to help. Okay, I will leave that to you. This is interesting. See, now here's an interesting one, you guys. Emma says, how do I shift my angst and angry energy when I don't know where it's coming from? Such a beautiful, wonderful question. How about this? Do we have to know where it's coming from? We really don't have to know right away. Lots of times we want to know why we're feeling a certain way, and that is valuable, and I am not dismissing the value in exploring why we are angry, okay, or anything like that. But my concern, I guess is a better word, my concern is that if we are wanting to know the root cause of it before we deal with the anger, we may never get to dealing with the anger if we aren't really sure what it is, right? Which ties in so well, Emma, with what we've been talking about the past few weeks, which is clearing our energy and raising our vibration. Okay, so what we want to do is somehow disconnect from that anger so we're not so entangled with it. Okay, when we're angry, we get really stuck in there. And lots of times it is because of something that has happened. If you're not sure of what it is, it could be that this emotion, this anger emotion, is here to get your attention. Ah, yes, that's what it is. It's here to get your attention, to help move you into the direction of the life you want to be living by being the person you really are at your soul level. So let's go there, Emma. So Emma, I'm going to touch into your soul. Ooh, this is nice. You'll have to write in the comments as I'm talking to you to tell me if this is true as I get going here, because I get the feeling, and I could be right, could be wrong. We'll find out in a sec. I get the feeling that you've spent a lot of your life pleasing other people. Okay, I get the feeling that you were trained very well by society, culture, family, school, whatever it is. This programming that so many of us have, that we have to do for other people before we do for ourselves. Okay, that other people are more important than we are. When we've been programmed this way, we suppress our true selves, and lots of times we have no clue who we even are. We have no clue. So what happens sometimes is our soul is actually going, hey, come on, help. We want to be our true self. Our soul wants to come out and play, if you will. And so your soul at some level is making you feel angry because you're not quite living as your true self. And I have to tell you before I forget, it's been in my head 3 times already. I see the color pink around you very strongly. Pink is the color of the heart. Pink is a very gentle color. It is the color of friendship, unconditional love, beauty, all of that. It's related to the heart. So I know, Emma, that you have a very gentle heart, and I really wonder about the people-pleasing part here. So what you'll want to do, Emma, is we're not going to deal with the angry part so much as we want to explore more of who you really are. Who are you besides this loving being inside you? Now, this is big for humans, okay? Humans, we want to figure it out. We want to fix it and all that stuff, which is great sometimes. But for you today, at this moment, I want you to really move into the idea that you are a being of love, and that this is now the time to love yourself, no matter what. This may mean saying no to some people where you've been giving too much of your energy to them. And that's okay to do. You still love them. Doesn't mean you have to carry their crap with you. Okay, but you want to move into loving yourself as much as possible. And I told somebody last week that let me see where I have it, because I wrote it down exactly, because it was very helpful. That what you might want to do is, here it is, I found it. Set a morning intention of loving yourself. I love myself. Or I told this person, I love myself fully and completely. And what you will do is you say that and you feel how you would feel if you really loved yourself. And I mean really loved yourself. Loved yourself when you're not a nice person. Love yourself when you're angry. Love yourself when you're a kind person. Love yourself when you're a helpful person. Love yourself when you even might judge yourself. Love yourself. But what would you feel like if you truly 100% loved yourself? And then you repeat this throughout the day. Okay? And what will happen is the universe will bring you opportunities for you to choose to love yourself. Okay, you get upset at something, and how can you love yourself? You can forgive yourself for getting upset. Okay, you accidentally drop something on the floor and it breaks. Okay, and you're upset about it. How can you love yourself? You can go, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that important when it comes down to it. Okay, making the commitment to choose to love yourself and doing the best you can to follow it is very powerful and almost magical. And I like to tell people to do these intentions for weeks, months, as long as possible. Because what happens is you'll get one layer of loving yourself, and then another one will come up, and another one will come up. Okay. And sometimes people say to me, well, I already love myself, but then they're unhappy or life isn't going the way they want it to. And I'm like, you know what? There's always more. There's always another layer where we can love ourselves more. So Emma, I'm not so concerned actually about the anger, because I feel like it is a message to you to choose to move into loving yourself. So tell me what you think about that. Okay, so everybody, just in case you just joined in on the later side, I'm Colleen Vanderzijden. I am a medium at Lilydale. I'm a spiritual life coach. I got to mention my giveaway again, in case any of you are interested. I'm giving away a soul reading, which is similar to what I'm doing today, in some ways. And it's a full-length soul reading, and on my page, Medium, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach Facebook page, and you need to be on that page if you want a reading today or a comment or question, you have something going on you want me to talk about. right at the very top, featured post. Click on that and you can put right in there in the comments, I want a soul reading, thank you very much, or something like that, and make sure you like the post. Follow my page while you're there. Okay, so I want to mention that. Also, I do want to mention, because I've noticed a lot of comments more recently on my shows and other places, people are really wanting to know who they are. Like, who are you really, right? And this is why the soul readings are so popular, because I tell you, my perception of who you are, how your life is, where you're heading a little bit, purpose, meaning sometimes, colors sometimes, whatever spirit tells me to tell you. And people are really curious and want to live their best lives, right? Don't we? Don't we want to be the best version of ourselves? So I do want to mention my Courageously You small group coaching program. It is limited to 8 people. Starts January 6th. We're meeting at noon on Saturdays for 8 times. And it is, as I said, limited to 8 people. I have 2 seats left. So if you are all interested in exploring who you are, looking for some support, and being in that group is amazing. Everybody gets together. They become best friends. It's miraculous. It's just amazing. But you can find more about that on my website, ColleenVanderzijden.com, or BeCourageouslyYou.com. So I wanted to mention that. Okay, gonna scroll some more, see what we got, you guys. Okay, Melissa, got my attention. You guys got to get my attention. Say something that's like interesting. Okay, Melissa said, I would love for you to read my soul. That's easy, right? I felt like my energy has been shifting, and it has been, Melissa. So beautiful. The first word, actually, that popped into my head for you, and this is new. I'm pretty sure I've never said this to anybody before, was mysticism. Okay, so what is mysticism? This is like being a mystic. Okay, now, for my definition at today, is a mystic is a person who is spiritually curious, who is interested in maybe metaphysics or different kinds of religions or spiritual beliefs. Somebody who is curious about the miracles of life. And we are fond of saying in my house that miracles should be happening every day. We should be experiencing miracles all of the time. Miracles are supposed to be, that's when we're in the flow, when we're in the spiritual flow, that's when miracles happen. So Melissa, that is the first word that popped into my head, mysticism and being a mystic. So I do wonder if you're also on a spiritual path to become your highest and best self. And remember, everybody, we are in this consciousness shift, and I'm going to be talking about it, I don't know, probably till I die in 50 years, because it is so important. Because I'm going to preach for a second. Each one of us is important to contribute to the light and the love of this consciousness shift. You would not be watching my show right now if you were not a part of this shifting. So Melissa talking about her energy shifting, how many of you guys have this same feeling that your energy is shifting as well, that things are different? Absolutely, that's what's happening. So you guys are here to help. You're here to spread the love and the light, and toward ourselves as well. Okay, prioritize ourselves, because we got to help ourselves first. In sometimes, of course, we have to help other people sometimes. Okay, there's always caveats, but there we are. So Melissa, I want to know too if you do any energy work, because I feel a lot of energy work around you. There's many different ways to do energy work, but I am feeling energy work with you. And with you, I have to tell you, I do see the purple color, which of course goes with spirituality, crown chakra, connected to spirit, God, angels, guides, etc. And so I can see that too. And also, one more thing, Melissa, I am also seeing a lot of sound vibrations around you. Okay, and there's a couple of things with this. One, music, sounds, those kinds of things, but I definitely use those. But I'm also wanting to talk about the words that we use. Our vibrations, the word vibrations are so important. And I talked about that last week and the week before. Using our positive, uplifting, higher vibration words. We can use those words to create the life we want to have. You'll notice if you're complaining about feeling stuck, and I'm not talking just to Melissa here, but you'll notice if you are complaining about being stuck, or you're complaining that your life isn't right, or you're not sure what to do next. Those aren't necessarily higher vibration words. We can acknowledge where we are, like, I'm not really sure what's next. It's when we put the emotion with it, like, I don't know what to do next. I'm so frustrated, I can't figure out what my next steps are. That's a lower vibration. Okay, because it's just dragging us down, right? Because the more we talk about that stuff, the worse we feel. But we can be very factual, very intuitive kind of factual, and go something along the lines, I don't really know what's next, but I expect that it'll be revealed to me. That's a higher vibration thing, because we're trusting that the answers are going to come. Okay, so we want to stay open all the time. So Melissa, I've got the purple for you. I've got the mystic. I've got spiritual exploration, basically, and being curious. And I've got some energy work. See what you think about all that. That's kind of fun. Okay, let's see. Who is this? I cannot see. Okay, got it. I was trying to figure out who this message went to. Okay, how do I shift my anxiety? I'm going through Cancer, shift anxiety. So I think that's Sarah. Okay, and okay, I'm writing your names down, you guys. And I'll do as fast as I can. I really will. So anxiety. Anxiety these days, not just simply horrifically and horribly going through cancer, but also a generalized anxiety that so many people are experiencing. This is one of my favorite ways to, two ways just popped into my head to shift anxiety. One is to make a point of focusing, and we did this a couple times. It was in my newsletter today. It's posted on my page. Focus on somebody you love. Something positive, okay? A pet, a person, whatever. Focus on someone you love. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more than I have the last time I talked about it, because what we want to do is we really want to feel it, okay? We really want to feel it. Okay, I'm not dismissing the anxiety, okay? But what I want to do in this case is be able to detach enough from the anxiety so you have an opportunity to get a break from that and get some peace. So we want to focus on somebody we love and really feel it. When we feel it, what happens is our body will relax, our energy opens up more. Anxiety causes us to constrict our energy. We literally do this with our energy. It just like goes inside, and anxiety just like makes this like rock inside of us, right? So what we want to do is counterbalance that. So we focus on somebody we love, and we feel it, and we think about it, and we feel it, and our energy starts to expand. The more we do this, it's kind of like, how can I say this so it makes sense? So the anxiety energy could be, I can't see myself, so I don't know if I'm in the camera. It could be like this, where we're up and down. Okay, but if we can do this love thing and feel the love, we might make it smaller, okay, where it's not as big. Okay, this is so important. Another thing, which I also did in my newsletter today, is 33 breaths, slow, deep breaths. Okay, I used it today for overthinking, works for anxiety because overthinking causes anxiety, right? So 33 breaths. 33 is the number of limitlessness. It connects us to the spiritual flow, connects us to love. It relaxes our body and will help us get there. And while we're talking about this, everybody just sends Sarah some positive energies and some positive thoughts. So to help her with this, because our energy, our intention can help improve her energy. Okay, let's see what else we got. There was another person I saw. Okay, did that one. Okay. Hold on, I'm looking. Okay, I know I've missed some of you guys, but it's just the way it is. It's hard to see everybody and the way it shifts on here. Julie, we got to help Julie for a second here or so. Okay. She's saying her daughter is having psychic stuff and depression, missing loved ones, feels like she's passing. Now, Julie, I know we've talked about this before about getting her some counseling, and I highly recommend this. Same thing for anybody else who is struggling with anxiety. Definitely reach out to a therapist and get some guidance and work through that. Okay. And somebody who's disabled or somebody who has other kind of issues where we have to take care of them, we can go in our place and get guidance that we can go ourselves and get guidance to help them go together. There's lots of options, and a therapist would be able to help you with that. Okay. So, it's just one quick thing for you, Julie, right now is I get such a sense of wanting to surround her with very calming music, number one. And that calming music would be like new agey music that sounds pretty, of course, or classical music, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, that kind of thing. Surround her with that because the energy of that is going to relax her more. I tend to lean more toward the new agey music rather than the classical music, just because classical music sometimes has, faster pieces and stuff, and it needs to be a slower, lower kind of vibration kind of thing going where it's even. That's the word I want. Even. Sorry. I'm in channeling land. I don't have logic. And that's important. So, Julie, just very simply with that is a very strong suggestion that's coming in. And also, you might do well yourself to have some kind of a mantra. I trust I will be guided would be a good one. I trust I will be guided. So you know exactly what you're supposed to do. Okay. Okay. It's checking on. Okay. You guys have lots of things you're saying. Accepting oneself when feeling no value in the workplace is a hard space to get out of. Ooh, Allison caught my attention. Okay. It is so interesting, isn't it, when we are in job situations where we're not appreciated or valued. Same could be said for family situations where we're not appreciated or valued. And this takes me to the message I've been talking about for a long time now. The more we love and honor ourselves, the more we recognize the truth of who we are, the stronger we can be in a family, work, wherever situation where people don't necessarily value ourselves. Okay, so the stronger we are. So this applies to everyone for so many things. And what, not to discount or dismiss the struggles in that, because we're also can be, and I know some of you are agreeing with me without my saying it yet, being bombarded by negative energy. How many of you guys are feeling some of that, where you just feel like this negative energy is coming at you all the time, right? Okay, so now we're back to what I'd said earlier about the bubble of energy. Only positive energy in this space. Anything else, stay out of it. Okay, so we want to do that. The energy bubble is so important. And sometimes people will, they're like, oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. But then they don't do it. Okay, the simplest things, just try it, you guys. Just try it. Okay, it works. I'm telling you. If it didn't work, I wouldn't tell you. Okay, and also then we'll move back into the other part about exploring who we are again. We got to get back to that. Who are we? Who are we really? At the soul level, who are we really? Right? We are a being of love and light. Each one of us expresses that love and light in different ways. We all have our unique way of appearing in the world. Now, I happen to know that Allison, and I know Allison from years ago, Allison is a very kind person. I know that Allison does a lot for other people. She has you have so much joy in your heart, Allison. You really do. And she is the kind of person that really strives to be authentic and genuine. Okay, so those are some qualities in how she presents herself to the world, right? Now, what's happening for so many people because of the consciousness shift and just as we're all getting older is we start to question, who are we? What do I want? How do I want to live? And sometimes we don't want to stay in that space anymore. And maybe we get a different job, right? Sometimes we go, you know what? I'm done with this. There might be another place I can be. But maybe we really like our job and we don't want to get a new job. So what can we do to make that space safer? Okay, energetically, we can blast that space with some good energy as well, and so there's a lot of energy things we can do to do that. But my answer for those kinds of things is always going to be to get to really understand and know who you are, so you're as strong as possible within yourself. Be curious about who you are. And one more thing, Allison. Okay, so there is the sense of, well, obviously, if you're not being valued, people not taking, or people, let me say that again. You're not being valued, so people are taking you for granted. Okay. Okay. So, and you're not the kind of person that's going to say to people, hey, look, I did this. It's such a great job. Isn't that wonderful? Right? So they get that acknowledgement. But it may be time also, and I'm not sure, but you see what you think about it. It may be time for you to make sure when you do something and you report to whoever and tell them whatever, that you explain all the steps that went into it so they truly understand. Sometimes when somebody's so good at their job, and I know you are, that people are like, oh, it's no problem. She can take care of it. She can do it really fast. And it just becomes very expected and they take you for granted. So it might be time to just kind of mention, hey, yes, I got this done and this is how I did it. So you understand. And they recognize how many steps are involved because they have no awareness and their minds just might be someplace else. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with doing something like that. So I will leave that there. Let's see what else. Lots of emotions. You guys are so good. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mary, would it be safe to have my sister-in-law C back in my life to respond? She's reached out a couple times. Is she sincere? Does she care about me? Some not great stuff happened in the past. Okay, now, probably all of us or most of us have experienced a situation where we've had somebody in our lives that maybe was mean, hurtful, cruel, etc. And maybe we put up with stuff for a long time, whatever it is, and then maybe there was a break, and now they're reaching back out again. We can always hold out hope that they've learned. However, we must also make sure we don't go in with this big, gigantic, open-hearted, oh, I'm so glad you're back, and put yourself in a vulnerable position. If you want to have a relationship with her again, or a better relationship with her, if it hasn't been the best, you can be open to that, but have your guard up. Okay, lots of times somebody comes back and they want something. Okay, I don't know if this is the case here or not. I really don't. But there is definitely this feeling that if you want to try again, and I don't know if you want to go back and talk about things that happened in the past with her or not. I believe she is sincere at the level she can be sincere at this moment. It may not be to the level that is acceptable to you. So the only way you're going to know, if you want to know, is to welcome her back and see how it feels to you. But keep your guard up. Definitely keep your guard up. You can always have a great superficial kind of relationship where you guys don't talk about anything too heavy. You can certainly do that if it's important to you. Okay, if it's and you'll know soon enough. Let me tell you that. So that's the biggest thing I'm feeling with you, Mary. Just keep your guard up because you just don't know. Oh, this is an interesting question. When your spouse passes, can your souls be stuck together? I'm taking that as a negative, I guess. Okay, well, I'm not sure. So here's the thing. Our souls are connected to the oneness. Our souls are connected to everybody's souls, okay? So our souls are connected to our spouse. If our spouse passes, our souls are still connected. But that doesn't mean we are held back from moving forward, or that we're stuck, or that they're weighing us down. So if that's where you're heading, no, not that way. We are definitely connected. If your spouse or whoever, if you've had this experience, if your spouse or whoever was a horrible person, and you're still feeling this weight of their energy, you can do an energetic release process. Sometimes people visualize dissolving or cutting the cord between each other. You can do a forgiveness process to forgive him and yourself for whatever may have occurred, if that's the case, just to lessen that energetic connection that way. So I don't know if that helps you at all, Debbie. Your souls are connected, but they aren't going to drag you down, okay? It's not going to drag you down. Okay, interesting question. Okay, let's do this one because somebody else asked this too. How can I figure out who my spirit guides are? I tried talking to them, but would love a deeper connection. So let's talk about spirit guides for a sec. So we all have spirit guides. Sometimes we have angels, if that's what you prefer to believe. We definitely have something, someone, some being guiding us from the other side. That is my perception, my belief system. If it feels right to you, take it as well. So we all have something like that there. There's a few ways you can connect with your spirit guides. And actually, you know what? Since it is 8:55, maybe this isn't a good time to get into that. It's like 5 minutes till I should stop. How about next week I do a connecting with your spirit guides process, meditation, visualization, whatever we want to call that. We can do that. That would be helpful. I think we'll do that. And then also another thing to think about with spirit guides, because next week, that gives me more time to really do it and talk about it than just a few minutes. And here's something, Randy. And anybody else who wants to know who their spirit guides are. As humans, we want to know who they are. Like, were they a person who lived previously? Are they an angel? What kind of being are they? All of that. We want to know that. We want to know their names. But you know what? The spirit guides don't care. They don't care. Okay. So a quick thing you can do. I would recommend, just briefly, because I don't have much time, is writing. I would write a letter that would say something like, Dear Spirit Guide, I would like more information about you. I'd like to know more about you, how you guide me. I'm trying to think of questions that could be asked. What is the biggest thing I need to know right now? How do you guide me? Or what's it like being a spirit guide? Maybe that would be better because then we're not tied to answers, something like that. I may think on this further and see what else comes in. But sometimes writing, we can get some good messages to strengthen that. Yeah. I think I'll talk more about that next week. I don't really have enough time to do it justice right now. And I'll ask my spirit guide what else I need to say. Okay, let me see what else you got going here, you guys. I never got to my other list, but I see you guys don't care anyway. Spirit guides next week, yes. Yeah, I had an experience years ago where I had a spirit guide and I was talking to her one night and it just wasn't working. And I was like, what's happening? And then I heard, you have a new spirit guide. I was like, oh, okay. So that was fun. They know they're around. Paula, you are not the only one that takes notes. I've had other people tell me they take notes too. Yes. Okay. You guys really like the spirit guide thing. Okay. We will do that. Mary, not exactly a rave to let her back in. This is the sister-in-law, you guys, but that's what I needed from you, honesty. I sincerely thank you. Keep your guard up. Yeah, she cares at the level of, yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, I'm glad that made sense because I kept seeing I just wanted this, some space, distance, just a little distance. Okay, now, so remember a couple things. One, if you're looking for guidance and want to learn more about who you are, my Courageously You small group coaching program, ColleenVanderzijden.com, BeCourageouslyYou.com. Just go to coaching and you'll see it right there. You can also go on my Facebook page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium Intuitive Life Coach. It's an event in Facebook as well. I've got 2 seats left. We start January 6th, so 2 seats, and still early bird pricing. The other thing is free soul reading, last chance, giveaway at the top of my Facebook feed, featured Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium Intuitive Life Coach. Do you guys have that memorized yet? You need to like my page, you need to comment on that post, and you need to like that post, and that will get you in the running for a free soul reading. We're going to post it on the 26th. Okay, that tells me. I remember the date, 26th, so that's Thursday. So you have one more day. Don't wait. Okay, I'm going to do it first thing Thursday morning, run it through the random name generator and see who we get for the winner. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so you guys have any questions, any comments, things that you want me to talk about more? Let me know. Struggles, any of that. I go through the comments. It takes me a little while sometimes if I have 200-300 of them, but I go through and I write down people's questions and comments so that I can address them for our next shows. Oh yeah, Greg, thank you. The other thing is you can join us in our online soul empowerment community. We're going to be opening the registration very soon. We do have a wait list, and I'll be messaging people on the wait list within a week, just to touch base with people a little bit. So if you're interested in looking for some soul guidance, wanting to know more about your soul's purpose, wanting to live your best spiritual self, we are going to be talking about all of those things, workshops, all sorts of stuff we do in that community, but you can learn more about it on my website. Third eye, maybe, yeah, that might go. Okay, so I guess I should stop talking. It is 9 o'clock, and I never got to my list, but I answered lots of questions. If you guys like me answering lots of questions, write a little comment in there, and I'll just keep doing it, because it's fun to do, and I get to do a little bit of readings and some personal guidance. And did you notice that some of the readings actually made sense to you, too? Isn't it amazing? Spirit is so wise, much wiser than I am. Okay, so I will stop talking. You can connect with me again, ColleenVanderzijden.com. Make sure you're following my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium Intuitive Life Coach, and I'll see you guys next week. It'll be Halloween, but I'm going to be here. So we are going to talk about spirit guides next week and whatever else. We'll probably do some more readings because it's fun. Okay, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.